Stop all the clocks. Cut off the telephone. Prevent the dog from barking with a juicy bone. Silence the pianos, and with muffled drum, bring out the coffin. Let the mourners come. Let aeroplanes circle moaning overhead, scribbling on the sky the message, he is dead. Put crepe bows around the white necks of the public doves. Let the traffic policemen wear black cotton gloves. He was my north, my south, my east and west, my working week and my Sunday rest, my noon, my midnight, my talk, my song. I thought that love would last forever. I was wrong. The stars are not wanted now. Put out every one. Pack up the moon and dismantle the sun. Pour away the ocean and sweep up the wood, for nothing now can ever come to any good. Today, for Christians, this is Holy Saturday, the day after Jesus was judged, crucified, died, and was buried, and the day before his resurrection. As Christians, we know the rest of the story, and therefore today is a day of waiting. Perhaps in our current context, it's similar to joining the Zoom meeting you've been invited to, but are waiting for the meeting host to let you out of the waiting room. Or waiting for that day when we will be able to come out from our social distancing to gather again with family and friends and colleagues. Yet for those disciples and those who love Jesus, they did not see or know of the resurrection, which was coming. They only saw the death of their son, a rabbi, a Messiah, a friend, their loved one. They are now in the deep throes of grief, and if you have lost a loved one, you know how exhausting that can be. The poem I began with, Stop All Mail, by W.H. Auden, seems to me to be an appropriate response to what Jesus' loved ones might have been feeling. Anger at the injustice of witnessing Jesus' death at the hands of the state and religious leaders, fear that their own lives might be in danger, uncertainty that the person they had followed and believed is now dead and gone, a profound sadness for the loss of their friend and the possibilities he had professed for the world. I can't help but wonder if they were replaying the things Jesus had said to them about his own death. The hour is coming, indeed it has come, when you will be scattered, each one to their home, and you will leave me alone. Yet I am not alone, because God is with me. Did this teaching and others begin to creep into their consciousness? Or were they hazy memories which confounded them more deeply now? I wonder what stories, teaching, traditions brought them some small measure of comfort in their grief. Or was their desolation wrapped so tightly around them they couldn't get out of bed? Now, for Holy Saturday, I generally don't read the scriptures, but instead I try to enter into the experiences of Jesus' mother, of Martha, of Mary, and the disciples. I use my experience and the stories I know of Jesus' loved ones to imagine what they were doing and feeling on that day. And this year, I can't help but wonder if we can't draw upon the way we are all scattered to our own upper rooms, grieving, anxious, longing for our loved ones, angry because of our losses, or the way that this pandemic is making us vulnerable and making others among us even more marginalized. Perhaps this Holy Saturday, we are closer to the experience of Jesus' loved ones than we know. each of us waiting on the uncertain day when all of our doors will reopen, when shrouds of fear, anxieties, and desolation will be unbound, and our joy at the new possibility will ignite the world. But until then, let us, like Jesus' loved ones, draw nearer to each other in our own virtual upper rooms, or stand across the street from our neighbors, sharing stories of our times together, comforting each other, breathing hope into the spaces of desolation. And let's remind each other that faith means all things are possible with God, especially when we cannot see that possibility. So to close, I'd like to offer you another poem for your Holy Saturday. A poem attributed to Rumi from Daniel Landesky's book, Love Poems from God. The poem is called Just Sit Right There. Just sit there right now. Don't do a thing. Just rest. For your separation from God is the hardest work in this world. Let me bring you trays of food and something that you like to drink. You can use my soft words as a cushion for your head. God bless. The resurrection is coming.